You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Subscribe to our channel for new story. Story title, The Water of Life. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there was a wise and beloved king who fell gravely ill. The king had 3 sons, each brave and strong in his own way, and they were deeply troubled by their father's sickness. Despite the efforts of the best physicians, the king's health continued to decline. Desperate, the 3 princes often gathered in the palace gardens, seeking solace under the ancient oak tree. One day, as they wept beneath the tree's mighty branches, an old man with a long white beard approached them. His eyes twinkled with kindness and wisdom. "Why are you so sorrowful, my princes?" he asked gently. The eldest son, Prince Roland, replied, "Our father the king is very ill, and none of the remedies have worked. We fear he will die." The old man stroked his beard thoughtfully. "There is one remedy that can save your father, the water of life. It is a magical water that cures all ailments, but it is very hard to find." Upon hearing this, Prince Roland stood tall and declared, "I will find this water of life and save our father." Despite the king's initial refusal due to the dangers involved, Roland's persistence won him permission. With the desire to be his father's favorite and to inherit the kingdom, Roland set out on his journey. As Roland traveled, he encountered a dwarf standing in the middle of the road. The dwarf inquired, "Where are you going in such haste, prince?" Roland, full of arrogance, snapped, "That's none of your concern, silly shrimp," and rode on. The dwarf, angered by Roland's rudeness, cast a curse upon him. Soon, Roland found himself in a narrow ravine, trapped between 2 steep mountains. Unable to move forward or backward, he was imprisoned. Back in the kingdom, when Roland did not return, Prince Stefan, the second son, volunteered to seek the water of life. He too met the dwarf on the road and dismissed him arrogantly. The dwarf cursed him as well, and Stefan found himself trapped in the same ravine as his brother. When both Roland and Stefan failed to return, the youngest son, Prince Felix, begged his father for permission to undertake the quest. The king reluctantly agreed. As Felix set out, he met the dwarf, who asked, "Where are you going, young prince?" Felix, unlike his brothers, answered respectfully, "I seek the water of life to save my father, who is gravely ill. Can you help me?" Impressed by Felix's humility, the dwarf replied, "Yes, I can help you. The water of life is found in the courtyard of an enchanted castle. Here, take this iron wand and these 2 loaves of bread. Strike the castle's iron door 3 times with the wand, and it will open. Inside, you will find 2 lions. Throw a loaf to each, and they will let you pass. But you must be quick, for the door will close at the stroke of 12. Felix thanked the dwarf and continued his journey. When he reached the castle, everything happened as the dwarf had said. He struck the door 3 times, and it opened. After calming the lions with the bread, Felix entered a grand hall where enchanted princes sat, frozen in time. He took their rings as a token, grabbed a sword and a loaf of bread lying there, and continued onward. In the next chamber, Felix found a beautiful maiden who embraced him with joy. "You have freed me," she said, "and in return I offer you my kingdom. If you come back in a year, we shall be wed." She then directed him to the spring of the water of life. Felix hurriedly filled a cup and left the castle just as the clock struck 12, narrowly escaping as the door slammed shut, taking a piece of his heel with it. On his way home, Felix passed the dwarf again. The dwarf noticed the sword and the bread Felix carried and said, "With this sword, you can defeat entire armies, and this bread will never diminish." Felix thanked the dwarf and continued his journey, determined to find his brothers before returning home. After some searching, Felix discovered Roland and Stefan trapped in the ravine. He pleaded with the dwarf to release them. The dwarf agreed, but warned, "Beware of your brothers. Their hearts are filled with envy." Felix rejoiced at their reunion and shared his adventures. Together, the brothers journeyed home. Along the way, they passed through 3 kingdoms plagued by war and famine. In each, Felix used his magical bread and sword to save the people, earning gratitude and gifts of gold and precious stones from the kings. Despite Felix's generosity and bravery, his brothers were consumed with jealousy. They feared losing their inheritance and plotted against him. As they sailed home, they waited until Felix was asleep, then poured the water of life into a cup for themselves and replaced it with salt water. When they arrived at the palace, Felix presented the cup to their father. But the king grew worse after drinking the salt water. Roland and Stefan then offered their cup, and the king quickly recovered, believing them to be the true heroes. They accused Felix of trying to poison their father, and the king, furious, ordered Felix to be executed. A huntsman was sent to carry out the king's order. But Felix, unaware of the danger, befriended him during a hunt. The huntsman confessed his mission, and Felix pleaded for his life. They exchanged clothes, and the huntsman returned to the king with false news of Felix's death, while Felix fled deeper into the forest. Meanwhile, Felix's heroic deeds had not gone unnoticed. The three kings he had saved sent caravans laden with gold and jewels to the palace as a token of their gratitude. The king was astonished and regretted his harsh judgment. When the huntsman confessed that Felix was still alive, the king's heart lightened with hope, and he issued a proclamation inviting Felix to return. In the Enchanted castle, the beautiful maiden, now a queen, awaited Felix. She had a golden road constructed leading to her palace, instructing her guards to admit only the rider who stayed true to the path. As the year drew to a close, Roland and Stefan, eager to claim the kingdom and the maiden, each set out separately. Roland, disdaining the golden road, rode alongside it and was turned away. Stefan made the same mistake and met the same fate. Felix, however, thought only of the maiden and did not notice the golden road. He rode straight up the middle, and the castle gates swung open. The maiden welcomed him with open arms, and they celebrated their reunion with a grand wedding. After their wedding, the maiden revealed to Felix that his father, the king, had forgiven him and invited him to return. Felix shared his story with his new queen, who encouraged him to reunite with his family. Together, they journeyed back to Felix's kingdom, bringing gifts and treasures. Upon their arrival, Felix was greeted with joy and relief. The king embraced him and listened intently as Felix recounted his adventures and his brother's betrayal. Overwhelmed with remorse, the king wished to punish Roland and Stefan, but they had fled, never to return. Felix and his queen brought prosperity and happiness to the kingdom. The king appointed Felix as his successor, and under his rule, the land flourished. The enchanted princes Felix had freed from the castle arrived to pay their respects, bringing further blessings. And so, with wisdom, kindness, and bravery, Felix ruled his kingdom, beloved by his people. The story of the Water of Life became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a testament to the power of humility, honesty, and true heroism. And they all lived happily ever after. If you like this story, please give this video a like. For more stories, go to bedtimedreamytales.com. See you in the next story.